$1 million.
Thanks for watching. Super exciting video today. I have Brian Manzella, one of the top 10 instructors in the world with me. Really happy to have him. How's it going?
Always good to be on the show.
Brian's had a lot of success recently with some of his more famous students. Somebody that you've worked with off and on with your teaching partner, Patrick Harrington, just won last year.
Yeah. So, I mean, I take very little credit for Patrick.
Right.
But part of the team with Jacob 3D, I'm the director of instruction, and you know, we've been on this road together, me and Mike, for about 12 years. It's nice to have a golf nut. You pretty much have to be, right?
Yeah.
Because you can get all the information in the world from the software. And it uncovered a lot of little detail, like we're going to talk about detail today, that you need something to measure. It really fixed a lot of things in his swing, and he's probably one of the best, you know, over 50-year-old golfers of all time right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if he just, to me, he should just concentrate on the senior tour and just run up a bunch of victories. He likes playing at regular events.
How close do you think Patrick Harrington 2024 could hang in a match with Patrick Harrington 2008?
I think he would tell you he hits it better than he ever did, and he scored better than, you know, whatever kind of thing.
Okay, right.
But then he would have, if it was a time machine match, he would have today's knowledge.
Right.
It'd be pretty good. The 53-year-old Patty against the 35-year-old Patty. It'd be a hell of a match because, I mean, he hits it further now.
Yeah, he had a really good tournament, I think about a month ago in Europe, where he was in the top 10 or something like that against regular tour. Yeah, European tour.
Helps to have 180 ball speed when you need it.
I know. Oh, God. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, I wanted to do this hack motion video because we get to, like you were just saying, actually put some numbers, and beyond feeling real, we're just going real and real. So 90% of the hack motion videos I see is, and especially their ads, is talking about flexion extension.
Right, because it's a big popular thing.
Which is great, and you're maybe one of the top the top information guys about what's happening with flexion.
I was the first person to ever talk about twisting the club a lot, right? Which to do, you're changing the flexion extension.
But today we're going to talk about the ulnar and radial.
We're going to talk about wrist cock and wrist uncock, which is ulnar and radial, medical terms, and hack motion.
So radial is cocking it and uncocking it.
So I didn't add any wrist cock from here to the top. It would look like this. This is the angle, right? And then obviously everybody thinks I need to lag it a lot, but you still got to get rid of it or you don't hit it, you whip it, right? And then what a lot of people really don't understand is that the way the wrists work, there's a little bit of recocking down by the ball. And the timing of the cocking and uncocking and the recocking are everything. Because pretty much anybody with a reasonable grip that swings and go, well, I just mean like a hacker swing. Sure. It looks something like golf.
Yeah.
Cocked it, uncocked it, and recocked it. So where does that occur in a swing with somebody like yourself? Who got a lot of things going on with the wrists.
True.
You're a good
case study here.
Yes.
So I thought maybe that would be the best way to kind of introduce people to some of these concepts. Should I just hit one? And
well, the one thing you should do when you're doing any kind of 3D, you should always be very careful to do the calibration. So we're going to recalibrate right now. I'll show you how fast it is to do that. He's going to hold his hand like that. I'm going to press a button. He's going to do a little twist. I'm going to press another button. Done. That's it. Yeah. So we can go right into capturing a swing.
And the one thing I can say about the hack motion, and the hack motion is the thing, because I actually do a lot of consulting work with other golf tech companies, and I say, look at the hack motion, because it just works. And I have problems with force plates, I have problems with launch monitors, I have problems with all other kinds of tech things where it just doesn't work. The hack motion just works. Right. And it's kind of like Apple in that way. It's the most solid of all.
And they've also done an extremely good job I was with them at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Constantly upgrading the device. Like you have the latest, greatest, right?
Yeah, this
1,000
is
hertz.
Yeah, right.
This device, which is gonna in the Black Friday deal, is gonna be how much amount?
It's going to be, I think, if you're a Be Better Golfer, you go to hackmotion.com/BeBetterGolf. You're going to get it for around, the base one would be like $275. The plus will be like around $570. And then the top of the line one is $995 minus the discount. So like $960 or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So that top of the line model
Yeah.
a 960, does things that 10 years ago somebody would pay $5 million for.
Right. Let's talk about radial and ulnar in the golf swing. We're calibrated. Should I hit a shot or?
Yes,
Okay.
just hit a regular shot.
shot.
Y'all have all seen this man make swings before, so it's not going to be anything that's going to scare you. Good solid shot, starting line good. Just so you know, 00 club path on TrackMan.
Oh, 0-0.
0-0.
That was good.
Face angle 1.7 close. So it overdrew a little bit. It wound up 24 foot left of the target, but really good distance for that club.
Yeah, 166 for this 8-iron, which would be like a modern 9-iron.
So remember, you have to do this to make a regular golf swing. So what you've got is somewhere in the backswing, you're going to add wrist cock. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in the downswing, probably, you're going to take that wrist cock out. And sometime before you go through the ball, you're going to add wrist cock again. You're going to go radial, ulnar, radial in every swing. Mm-hmm. Now, what did you do on that one? Because
can you show us, because you're famous for doing this on your X account, can you show us like backswing, downswing?
Isolated.
Yes.
Right?
Like on one plane.
So here we go. Impact, right? So that's a certain amount uncocked. It's already recocking. So that's the most cock that it's going to get.
That would be like top of the backswing.
Yeah. Right. Uncocked just a little bit and recocked to impact and then recocked to the finish. Right.
So in the entire swing, it gets kind of clouded by all the other motions, but you're basically going like this.
Yeah, just this kind of hammering motion and pulling the hammer back up. Right. So this is a very interesting graph. What you did here is you started out, certain amount down, right? So uncocked.
Yeah, looks like about minus 21, right?
Right. Yeah, minus 21. And then what you really do well is this graph does not go down. So what this graph goes across right here, slightly up, and it doesn't go down. Now, let me
that would be one of those red flags.
Yeah, down is no good. I call that droop.
Okay.
Right? So that means this angle right here, let's say if I gripped it short and I put a couple fingers back here, 3 fingers. What he did in his swing was he went from 3 fingers to maybe 3.5 in the takeaway. Good. Most people would go from 3 fingers to 1. Literally uncock, and it makes the club.
Yeah.
Look at, you see all the tour players with the club right here, and most hackers the club right here. Part of that.
Pete Cowan calls that wrapping it around your ass.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But you have to apply a force and a torque to help you do that. And you do that exceptionally well.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. The second thing would be
blaze me before ripping me apart.
The second thing would be, when do you want to do most of the cocking? Time-wise, pretty close to the middle of the backswing. This slope goes up. That's a kind of a 45 slope. That means that what you did was you did your takeaway where there was not a lot of wrist cocking going on, and then you added your wrist cock, and by about 3/4 of the top, your wrist cock was pretty much done. Your backswing wrist cock. Now, why would you want it done before the top of the swing? Because you're pretty much going to use the same amount of wrist cock if you hit this shot. That's like a 70-yard wedge shot with a 100-yard wedge club.
Yep.
You wouldn't want to be less cocked there on that shot just because it's a half back, 3/4 backswing, right? So, and then, from there, this is where it gets a little hairy. It's kind of coasting into the top with that wrist cock, and then in transition, he adds more wrist cock.
So this line right here, it says that's the top. Yeah.
Yeah, the top is right here. So when this line goes up to that point, he went from 20 degrees to 31 degrees of wrist cock from the top to halfway down, or maybe even a little later than that time-wise, which would be probably right here. So he added wrist cock didn't Hogan do that? Don't I want to do that?
Yeah, float.
Float. Do I want to? I'll look laggy on video.
Like a lover or something like that.
Yeah. Well, guess what? You're going to have to do from here all the uncocking and some recocking before you hit it.
Okay.
And you've got 0.12 of a second to do it. Right? So he doesn't do it. he doesn't do it. He uncocks it enough to hit it, but it uncocks past his address number, which you don't want to do in a perfect world. If he starts with 21, uncocked, when it gets to the bottom of this thing, it ought to be 21. It's about 19, goes a little lower, like you dump. I call it droop when you uncock, like you don't want to in the takeaway, droop, no droop. And I call it dump when you uncock on the way to the ball.
Love that. Droop and dump.
Droop and dump. The same thing, right? They're just going uncocked. And then your recock is past impact. You want that to happen a little before impact. So, but the problem is the principal's nose, right? There's the famous bunker that looks like that's part of your graph.
Right.
So what would somebody like Brendan have to do? He would have to feel like he's actively torquing the club toward uncocked to probably just level it off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You say, oh, he's throwing it away. No. He's going to maintain it if he feels like he's throwing it more. And that's why you got to watch, tour players. They want to do articles with them because people want to know, I want to know what Tiger thinks. Yeah, but what if his issue at the time is he's down cocking, and then he goes and wins a tournament? You can hope, right? Makes money for everybody. And then you say, well, what are you working on this summer? I'm just trying to throw it from the top.
Yeah,
I'm trying to throw it from the top because he over down cocks it, let's say. Is that good for you? Maybe you don't have enough wrist cock to start with.
Right.
Maybe you throw it too much. But in your case, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We can see, that's why feeling real, we can see in reality I am adding to more after the top of the backswing.
Significant amount, 10 degrees.
So your expert advice from the top is to feel this angle immediately eliminating.
Yes.
Immediately
Yes.
spent.
As far as you could do with not a smile on your face, but not laughing at yourself.
Okay. All right, so what I'm trying to do in this downswing is when I'm here, John in putting always talks about borrow and spend. So I'm going to try to get to the top and then spend that cock on the way down.
Yes.
And not only that, because it's something we talked about before, I'm also not going to be afraid to, through the ball, get more. We're not talking about extension here, but through the ball, I'm spending this way, and I also feel like I'm spending this way.
So a throw and a flick.
Yes. Yeah. Which is would be the opposite of everything we see in Golf Digest.
It's going to go shorter. It's going to go shorter. Yeah, I bet. It doesn't go shorter.
Let's see. Because I don't want that little principal's nose.
Good shot. Little baby cut, right?
Yeah.
And the principal's nose was still there, but less, and it peaked. So there's two things you're trying to do. He's trying to take the principal's nose down to as flat as he can get it.
Yeah.
And he's also trying to peak the whatever amount he does sooner so he has more time to organize by the ball, which obviously on that one you organize better.
Okay. To exaggerate that even more, do I need to, because you also said that I had like a longer backswing. Should I feel a shorter position?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No. That would make you down cock it more.
Oh, okay.
So longer is good. So you get more
Nice
time to
full
uncock
backswing
it.
then. Nice
Yeah,
full
full backswing and just and almost trying to like up uncock. Like when you get to the top of the swing, go ahead. There's just going to be a certain amount of up to your uncock. Right? It went up first.
Oh, it's, yeah. You're feeling the club head get further.
Yeah. That's what it's going to feel like. I used to call that the out toss.
Scott Piercy kind of look.
Yeah. Jay Cutt did a video on that. So it's it's getting less and less
Steep. Yeah, less
peaky,
steep. Yeah.
right? It's but so the point is, what's the ball doing, right? The ball's going pretty straight to fading, where I think when you really down cock it a lot, it tends to more of a draw. Go to top. The famous Tiger Woods and Butch Harmon and Peter Kessler golf channel drill,
Yeah.
almost really, right? You're just going whoop. Because normally you go whoop.
Am I also, as far as the angle of the right arm, am I also letting this get...
Yeah, that would help.
Okay, yeah.
That would help a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is what something I like to do. If you just do a practice swing.
If you make a little contact with the ground, that's enough for hack motion to trigger. That's no peak. See? I mean, a little molehill right there, maybe. So it can be done. Everybody saw that practice swing. It didn't look like, a 43 handicapper. It looked smooth.
A little bit, yeah. It's definitely less.
So one of the things that it's changing the look of it. It's taking the little nose out of it. It looks like just a slope. But I think what I would do is I would keep the backswing transition slower, right? Because that's where the down cock is coming from.
Yeah,
He's using you're using the momentum of the club head that's cocking. You're using that momentum to cock more when you pull it a certain way on the downswing.
Oh yeah, when I go fast back, change direction, then he's getting that floaty air.
It's going to feel just like even, like practice swing transition.
Yeah, so I'll do that.
Even more. Throw it more. Okay, let's see one. Little longer backswing, same action. And I could, like, now that one of the things that'll happen, with people that buy the device and work on something like this,
Right.
is you'll start almost like feeling or being able to see on video, it looked like it principal nosed again, and it did, right? Because where's that come from? That comes from that really smooth, and then all of a sudden, lot faster. So what I would do is say, okay, make a swing. This is a drill Ben Doyle used to do with us all the time.
Sure.
Show the folks and me your full swing instead of at high 80s mile an hour, high 70s. Take 10 miles an hour off of it, but no length. Don't take any length off of it. Like $1 million.
Yeah, look at that.
Right? Because the abrupt,
So instead of 88 club speed,
you took it all the way down to 72 and you did it. So what you would do is you got something measuring club head speed and something measuring your wrist. You go, I can do it at that speed. Now, I need to speed something up to get my club head speed back without it being this quick, right? That's what you're trying to do over a bunch of balls.
Yeah, because I've always noticed that, especially when it comes to like a face-on camera view of lag, if I hit it at like 70%, it looks like this at impact, but then as soon as you try to start ramping it up, it starts to get a little more flippy.
Well, Johnny Miller wrote 2 books. Golf for Juniors, which I highly recommend, the best Bobby Clampett sequences out there in a book, and Pure Golf, which was in his prime. So he had a lot of brilliant ideas. He wasn't that good a player for nothing. And one of the ideas is pretty much what we just learned right here with your swing. He thought every golf swing, he loved Porsches and driving fast and had a red line. The car will get to 9,000, but the red line is at 7.
Yeah.
So he could swing 93 for you right now. No problem with that club. No problem. But your best action might be around 80.
Yeah.
Right? And if you could do the 80 when you wanted to, and you know how far it went, what the hell? Right?
So I'm just going to try to swing this at about like 76 instead of 72, but
Okay.
still maintain that
nice and wide.
smoothness and that kind of that freedom of letting it go.
very, very little.
All right, so that was me trying to be a little bit smoother, but not quite as smooth.
Right, so you took about 4 miles an hour off, and it went, you know, 150-yard shot, right?
Yeah.
So, John, go back to the one swing before it, right, which was the easy swing, and go back into JC video here, into the one swing before it, so people can see. If you want to see what, he's teaching them to lose the lag. Look at this right side right here. So look at, there's the angle. And see how it did that look laggy to you, right? I mean,
yeah.
right? Doesn't that look like, right? So
There's the hands getting to where the ball is.
So look at that impact position. Do you want it to lean forward anymore than that? Hell no. So the point is, people think that just because you give yourself some sort of a cue, that cue is going to like wreck your swing or something like that. No, you're looking for a cue that does what you're trying to do. And in this case, we were looking to limit the down cocking and or peak it sooner. Mm-hmm. And the cue was feel like do it in a swing that's less speed so you can feel more even. Mm-hmm. And then we ramped the speed up and got almost the same result because you had the stickiness of the feel of the last shot. And to him, it felt like he had to throw it and get wide.
Yeah.
But if you told somebody who threw it too much and got too wide to throw it and get wide, it might be a disaster. Yeah. So what people need to understand is everybody's wrapped up in retaining all this angle as long as they can. Mm-hmm. And it's just not anything that has any basis in science. What you're trying to do is get the club head to speed up. And to do that, if you keep the club head getting away from the top of if you keep the club head behind the handle for so long, you might never line the club up for impact, and you have this variability in how high it goes and how far it goes and left and right. And what you're trying to do is just boring the golf course to death is what you're trying to do.
So a good thing for me to do maybe with the hack motion is do those slow ones, look at my owner graph, and kind of keep testing and retesting to see the speed at which that principal's nose starts to happen. And then the more I do it, hopefully the more speed I can create without making that.
Right. And then the other thing that'll happen if he practices that way, and that's one thing about having this great device and being able to do that kind of practice, is this. If he goes from real good graph to real good graph at a little higher speed to a bad graph, he might be able to identify, it felt like this when I did it wrong.
It's self-learning.
And now all of a sudden you've got your own cue, and that's what you're looking for right there. You got one of those ones that Johnny Miller used to write down on a piece of paper and put it in a brown envelope to look at, you know.
Okay. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you're interested in getting the hack motion that we've been using in this video, go to hackmotion.com/BeBetterGolf. It's the best deal that you can get anywhere. And I think now, if you're seeing this video now, early on, it's going to still be on the November, December, Black Friday kind of deal. This is going to be really great. If you guys want to see more with Brian, follow him on Instagram, Brian Manzella, and on X, Brian Manzella. 2 really great follows. Thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, we're going to do the last thing. Thanks, guys, for being so patient. This is going to be